Steal the honey from a bee. I will never steal the honey from a bee, but I will steal a kiss from my sweet darling's lips, sail away far across the sea. 'Cause I'm as free a little bird as I can be. I'm as free a little bird as I can be. I'm gonna build my house in that weeping willow tree where them bad boys can't bother me. I'm gonna build my house in that weeping willow tree where them bad boys can't bother me. Thank you, folks. That's just to prove I could and that I would. Well, folks, for something completely different now, get back to your regularly scheduled programming of folk songs throughout the course of the evening. I think this is my favorite honky-tonk in the world, probably. If there might be one in Egypt that I might like better, but I haven't been there yet. And that's because you got so many great songwriters around here. We got Tyler Giles in the house somewhere out here, great songwriter from right here in Kansas City. Towards that end, I like to play songs that I've written in here. This one's called Angels. Well, I was born on the wide prairie with its wheat so wild and strong. I left my home when I turned 21. Still don't know if I was wrong. 'Cause I know a girl down in southern Illinois has me tangled up like kudzu vines. One good look at her shining smile, you can tell she'll never be mine. And to tell you the truth, I miss all the laughs of loving one another like sociopaths. So I'm waiting for angels to carry me back home. So I'm waiting for angels to carry me back home. Now, those of you here tonight who are familiar with the concepts of songs with verses and choruses might have recognized that last passage as a chorus. You might also recognize from your foreknowledge of the world of folk music that oftentimes a folk singer, tubby or otherwise, bespectacled or otherwise, cowboy hatted or otherwise, will ask that you feel free to sing along during one of those choruses. That will be our modus operandi for the evening. If you feel like raising your voice, I try to write simple choruses, or at least choruses that aren't so intellectual you'd have to go to grad school to understand them. But by God, how many bachelor's degrees does it take for somebody to sing along with a goddamn folk song? So I tell you what, I'm going to sing that chorus one more time, and if you feel like joining in with me, it's going to come around several times over the course of the song, and by God, if you have any cajonies, I'd sure like your help. It goes, I'm waiting for angels to carry me back home. I'm waiting for angels to carry me back home. Well, if I was a bird, I'd tear up my throat, throwing songs across telephone wires. If I was a dog, I'd rattle my chain, let my handlers decide how I live, how I die. I'd howl at the wind, I'd bite my own tail, I'd piss on the grass so they'd know who I was. Ask me why I leave a dying trace. It's either for fear or maybe because, well, to tell you the truth, I can't go free. I need the master's leash more than it needs me. So I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting for angels to carry me back home. So I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting for angels to carry me back home. I see I got a couple of you. A couple of you still guarding yourselves. That's all right, I don't blame you. If I was naked, I'd cover my genitals, but I'm not. I am wearing clothes, if you can't tell. Well, folks, this comes up to the third verse, and again, if you know anything about folk songs, you'll know that the third verse tends to be the most important one. The one where the lady dies, or the two get married, or more often than not, something really sad happens. So if you don't pay attention to any other verses in any of these songs that I'm about to play up in this here stage, then just listen to the third verse. You'll get the general gist of what the song has been about. You get kind of the Cliff Notes version. I'll offer you a test afterwards if you want to take it. It includes the price of one beer that I get for free, but you have to pay for it. I think I've arrived maybe once every year when I'm laughing with friends before we leave. I think that I love you, I think that I'm dying. Why the fuck should that be what we alternatingly believe? What makes one feel holy makes another feel broke. Like I'm mostly my hat, like I'm mostly my coat. That lovers will lie is one thing you can't trust. So what we ain't said might still save us. I'll be ashes if you be dust. And to tell you the truth, I think God's there still, in a sweet loving Westland over the hill. So I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting for angels to carry me back home. So I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting for angels to carry me back home. So I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting for angels to carry me back home. Thank you very much. Especially those of you that joined along. We'll drown everybody else out yet, by God. You could take my vocals down just a little bit. Not to be a diva about it. Just a little. Well, I'd like to welcome my friend Mr. Harmonica onto the stage. Say hello, Mr. Harmonica. He says hello. Play a song about my home state of Kansas. I've lived in Kansas and Missouri and Arkansas. Lovely bioregions all. Lots of pretty girls in all of them. Lots of pretty boys in all of them. Lots of ugly people, though. Cheap beer in every state. That's my favorite part, one of them. Only 4 Roses bourbon here, though. I play a song called Bright Sunny Kansas. Well, I'm rolling down the highway with a pocket full of change, thinking of the mess that I am in. Got no money, got no honey, got nowhere to lay my head, so high that I ain't sure what state I'm in. But the fields are all yellow, trees are all but dead. You think that you could see 1,000 miles. I think I hear my mother calling from her lonesome grave. Well, it's bright sunny Kansas in my mind. In the vast illumination of every Greyhound station, the poor folks and the crackheads and the bums. In the rust belt of the nations where I get my inspiration, everyone asks where you're coming from. Well, the fields are all yellow, trees are all but dead. You think that you could see 1,000 miles. I think I hear my mother calling from her lonesome grave. Well, it's bright sunny Kansas in my mind. There's a face upon a window, there's an oil upon the glass, the ghost of where some other traveler's been. Right behind me, some young mother started singing to her baby the language of some homeland where I've never been, where the fields are all yellow and the trees are all but dead. Think that you could see 1,000 miles. I think I hear my mother calling from her lonesome grave. It's bright sunny Kansas in my mind. I think I hear my mother calling from her lonesome grave. Yes, it's bright sunny Kansas in my mind. Thank you, folks. You're as good looking as your taste is bad. I haven't ever heard that one before. Well, folks, again, this is going to be a mix of folk songs and songs that I have written. I'd like to do one of my favorite folk songs in this universe or any other universe that I've ever been a part of. Is it sad? I guess you could say it was sad. I mean, everything's kind of sad, but this more than most things. You might know it. Again, it has one of those real singable choruses if any of you have any cajonis out there. I think I've spotted a couple of them dangling around. Mr. Mike Schaefer, I know you have a couple somewhere in there. That came out worse than I wanted it to. Hang me, oh hang me, I'll be dead and gone. Hang me, oh hang me, I'll be dead and gone. Not the hanging that I mind is laying in the grave so long. Oh Lord, been all around this world. Well, up on the Blue Ridge Mountains where I'll make my stands. Up on the Blue Ridge Mountains where I'll make my stand. Rifle on my shoulder, revolver in my hand. Oh Lord, been all around this world. Hang me, oh hang me, I'll be dead and gone. Hang me, oh hang me, I'll be dead and gone. Not the hanging that I mind is laying in the grave so long. Oh Lord, been all around this world. Well, Lulu, oh Lulu, open up the door. Oh Lulu, open up the door. For I I got open it with this here 44. Oh Lord, I've been all around this world. And hang me, oh hang me, I'll be dead and gone. Hang me, oh hang me, I'll be dead and gone. Not the hanging that I mind is laying in the grave so long. Oh Lord, I've been all around this world. And my mother and my father, my sister, that makes three. My mother and my father, my sister, that makes three. Folks come to see me hanging down from the gallows tree. Well, I've been all around this world. Hang me, oh hang me, I'll be dead and gone. Hang me, oh hang me, I'll be dead and gone. Not the hanging that I mind is laying in the grave so long. Oh Lord, I've been all around this world. Yes, I've been all around this world. Yes, I've been all around this world. Thank you, folks. That's an old standard. That's an old classic. If you don't know this classic, then get schooled. That's a tough one not to like. I can't remember. Somebody famous did that fairly often, Dave Van Ronk or something like that. But one of my favorite things about folk music is that it doesn't honor fame very much. So that means I interact pretty easily with it, having no fame myself. Towards that end, if you like any of what you hear, hell, if you don't like it, you can get yourself a little bit of merchandise back there in that little red chest that's back there on the table. I got maybe 2 or 3 more CDs left. I've been on tour for about 2 months. So I have a couple CDs left, a couple of vinyls left, and of my 6-song EP. And I got a couple CDs of folk music there too. Hell, I got buttons, I got refrigerator magnets. If you got a refrigerator, I don't have a refrigerator, but maybe you do. So if you'd like one, go back there, get you one. See that girl in a dress, she'll help you out. She also has a name. Her name's Amber. Well, this is a comic little number. This is in praise of hillbilly women. I know that there's a couple of you in the audience. But you also appear to have most of your teeth, so I credit you for that. This is called Stone County. It's about Stone County, Arkansas. Well, I was born in a suburban city. I used to play baseball in concrete lots. As a teenage boy, I was none too pretty. Well, a hug at the door was as far as I got. I moved to the country at 22. Tell me, what else could a poor boy do? Well, I found what I was dreaming of. Oh, how mountain girls can love. She said, "Bud, let me take you back to Stone County, where the whippoorwill sings in the hills and valley. The air it's clean and the folks are keen on strawberry wine and pure gasoline." There's a population of 95. I get lost inside her eyes. It's a dirt road uphill, all left turns. Get lost all night, I'll never learn. She's round as a biscuit, busy as a bee. She's the prettiest thing you ever did see. Well, she's sharp as a thumbtack, deep as a cup. Takes pints of Budweiser to fill her up. She said, "Bud, let me take you back to Stone County, where the whippoorwill sings in the hills and valley. The air it's clean and the folks are keen on strawberry wine and pure gasoline." I have to admit to you, I don't know the difference between regular gasoline and pure gasoline. It's got to be some sort of USA standard about that. But if you can explain that to me, well then you might just win yourself a pat on the butt. Well, she's hotter than a fresh buck box in a forest fire. Every time she's gone, I'm wondering where she are. It's a Baptist fire coming out her guitar. Well, she's my little Ozark star. She said, "Bud, let me take you back to Stone County, where the whippoorwill sings in the hills and valley. The air is clean and the folks are keen on strawberry wine and pure gasoline. She's my strawberry wine, she's my pure gasoline." Yeah, she's my strawberry wine, she's my pure gasoline. Thank you, folks. Sure appreciate you. Hey, what? Well, folks, one of the great things about living out of a van, there's not a whole lot of great things about it, but one of the things is you get to meet interesting people in interesting places. This last trip took me to Philadelphia for about 2 weeks. Played a bunch of gigs up in Philly, City of Brotherly Love. At least I think that's what it's called. I met a girl up there. She was smelled real funny. We played a gig with her. She smelled real funny. She was playing fiddle right beside me. Smelled kind of like a beagle, but in a good way, you know what I mean? You know how when somebody smells kind of funny, but you like it and you can't explain it? Whew. So in short, I was in love. And she couldn't hardly play the fiddle at all. She was not a very good fiddle player. So in short, it was over for me. So I wrote a song about her. It's called "A Girl in Philadelphia." I will recite it now thusly. I will play all the words in a row, along with the chords and the finger-picking progression that accompanies it. And that's going to be for your amusement, folks. So here it comes. A Girl in Philadelphia. I've been walking in the sunlight with the shadow of my doubt. I've decided to live humble, to look within and go without. I've been walking in the graveyards to test the limits of these songs. Laughed at death, said, "Go ahead, carry me along. Take my face and I will sing. Take my gut and I'll sprout wings. Take my manhood there and every ugly under thing. 'Cause there's a girl in Philadelphia that could still love me. Hair down to her shoulders, dressed down to her knees. They say that being happy will finally make you free. But I think I finally figured out what freedom really means. I think I finally figured out what freedom really means. I work to live, I live to work, I stumble in the dark. But my car and clothes won't presuppose the contents of my heart. And you bet your ass my thoughts go past the slowness of my tongue. I'll do the best I can, I guess, with sweat and blood and cum. And the song is just a symptom I might never try to cure. And maybe she's a fantasy, for now we can't be sure. If there's a girl in Philadelphia that could still love me, hair down to her shoulders, dressed down to her knees. They say that being happy will finally make you free, but I think I finally figured out what freedom really means. I think I finally figured out what freedom really means. I'd like to be the kind of person it's alright the world forgets. And I'd like to die for someone, I just haven't met them yet. Live afraid of being lonesome or die alone and brave. I don't care if I live foolishly, I won't be ashamed. Out of all the things I think I've been, I doubt I'll mind oblivion. And I won't gamble with my life to change the skin I'm in. Well, there's a girl in Philadelphia that might could still love me. Hair down to her shoulders, dress down to her knees. They say that being happy will finally make you free, but I think I finally figured out what freedom really means. I think I finally figured out what freedom really means. I think I finally figured out what freedom really means. I think I finally figured out what freedom really means. Thank you very much, folks. I appreciate you. That's brand new. That's a single that's coming out in a couple months here. Maybe, hopefully, in the month of August, that single will come out. Full band's going to sound real good. Well, folks, every now and again somebody asks me why I play the accordion. It's a pretty simple answer. I just got tired of people making fun of me for playing the banjo. I will recite a poem that I set to music here. I know we got at least one other poet in the house. Well, I will recite the poem and then I will sing the song as I have set it to music. The poem I set to music. It's a friend of mine recited it on his 30th birthday. How many of people in here are over 30? Well, so you know what this is like. Now, here's the poem. In my 30th year of life, I took my heart to be my wife. And as I lie in bed at night, I have my heart for my delight. And no one else can my heart estrange, for my heart changes as I change. And it is bound and I am free, and with my death it dies with me. It's kind of a terrifying poem for somebody to recite on their 30th birthday, but something that I feel. Well, here goes my arrangement of it. In my 30th year of life, I took my heart to be my wife. As I lie in bed at night, I have my heart for my delight. No one else might my heart estrange, my heart changes as I change. And it is bound and I am free, with my death it dies with me. It is bound and I am free, with my death it dies with me. Thank you very much, folks. It always feels funny when I get applause for the squeeze box. I can't lie. But the reason I started to learn to play the squeeze box was this old guy up in Iowa. I know Dwight Lamb is his name. He plays tunes that he learned from his grandfather, who was Danish, was Dutch. Yeah, from the Netherlands, was Dutch. No, it was Danish. From Daneland, Denmark. God damn it. I'm not really all that. I never passed geography. And so I got to learn a bunch of cool old Danish tunes from him. So it just kind of stuck with me. I'm going to do another one of these folk classics that I've been doing up here every now and again. This is the Ballad of John Henry. If you know it and you have any cajonies, again, feel free. When John Henry was a little baby, he was sitting on his pappy's knee. Well, he picked up a hammer and a little piece of steel. Said, this hammer's gonna be the death of me, Lord, Lord. Hammer's gonna be the death of me. When John Henry's captain came to him, said, what's that storm brewing here? Said John Henry to the man, it ain't no storm at all. That's my hammer spinning up in the air, Lord, Lord. My hammer spinning up in the air. Well, John Henry's captain came to him, said a man ain't nothing but a man. But before I let the steam engine beat me down, I'm gonna die with a hammer in my hand, Lord, Lord. Die with a hammer in my hand. Die with a hammer in my hand, Lord, Lord. Die with a hammer in my hand. Well, you hear that train come running down the line. Well, Johnny, he hammered and he hammered and he hammered and he hammered and he hammered till he died, Lord, Lord. Hammered and he hammered till he died. When John Henry's captain came to him, said a man ain't nothing but a man. Said John Henry to the man, I ain't no man at all. Die with a hammer in my hand, Lord, Lord. Die with a hammer in my hand. I'm gonna die with a hammer in my hand, Lord, Lord. Die with a hammer in my hand. Thank you, folks. Mr. Giles, you want to come up here and do a couple with me? I'd like to invite my good friend Tyler Giles up here to play the pedal steel with me. A knowledgeable and handsome individual, rugged, gains high marks in all of the categories. Is B all right? Good. I can't sing it anywhere else. Well, folks, I'd like to do a song about death. I try to do songs about death and then sex and then marriage. I don't think there's really all that much else to life. Maybe beer. I don't do that many songs about beer. But death and sex for sure. Try to cover that territory as much as possible. I'm more familiar with one of them than the other. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to let that frog out of my pocket for a second. He's back in now. What do you say? Okay. called The Small Things. I hope I die in Sedgwick County on a cold and wet October. Turn the earth over, lay me in, lay me in. I hope you make the drive up, hope it breaks your shitty car, hope you bring your guitar. Sing about what little worms we are, how the rapture's gonna save us all. Honey, I don't know if I believe in heaven. In my head it's always dark and bad. Honey, I can't think of an afterlife worth living. When in your heaven I know I ain't there. When in your heaven I know I ain't there. And if I cry it's for the small things. 2 beers on a Wednesday night and church songs in the firelight. If you sing, sing for the big thing hanging over our heads, that the best you've done is love, it still ends up dead. Let her ride. They're gonna drag me up to heaven to see old St. Peter in nothing but a wife beater. Tell him what I done, what I done. I'm gonna fight with all the angels, get drunk in heaven's bars, saying goodbye's too hard. They'll cut me off, they'll cut me off. Honey, I don't know if I believe in heaven. In my head it's always dark and bad. Honey, I can't think of an afterlife worth living. When in your heaven I know I ain't there. When in your heaven I know I ain't there. And if I cry it's for the small things. One summer spent hitching, sweet kisses in the kitchen. If you sing, sing for the big thing hanging over our heads, the best you've done is love, it still ends up dead. Honey, I don't know if I believe in heaven. In my head it's always dark and bare. Honey, I can't think of an afterlife worth living. When in your heaven I know I ain't there. When in your heaven I know I ain't there. When in your heaven I know I ain't there. That's Mr. Tyler Guys there on the pedal steel. Thank you very much, folks. Well, that's one about death, so I figure I better follow it up with one about drugs. I'm not a wealthy man, so I'm not accustomed to good cocaine. I'm not accustomed to bad cocaine either. But I think I've put more baby powder up my nose than the average individual, perhaps, if you know what I mean. You get a bag of something that costs you $70, and then you go take it home, and you're like, what the hell is this? And you might as well just put a pack of gold bonds in a little baggie, burn a $50 bill, and then you're in business. So I wrote a song about it. One particular night I was playing a scummy sort of punk rock venue, and it got me really down, so I wrote a song about it. And it's in the great key of G there, Mr. Giles. Think you can handle it? You might even know this one. Okay, it's called Cheap Cocaine. Okay, here we go. 8 miles out of Memphis, I'm staring at the rain. 8 ball left of the cheap cocaine. Looking at the sunlight light through the pines. Couldn't tell you what it is, it's always been mine. Now that I'm gone, I think of the man with a meth pipe clutched in his phoned in hand. Said, hey brother, I hope you get straight. I bet I don't meet him at the pearly gates. I sing, hey mama, I've been staring at the rain. A little heartbreak, a little soul pain. Up all night on the cheap cocaine, trying to make it better, but it's always the same. Well, I made a few new friends in a nearby bar. I told them all the lies, I said I was in charge of the after party where the women were loose. I partied with the metalheads with gin and juice. Hung over as hell, I slept in shit on the lawn. I'm tired of 20-somethings and their punk rock songs. Wake up in the morning, stumble towards the dawn, saying, how you doing, boy? It's been too long. I sing, hey mama, I've been staring at the rain. A little heartbreak, a little soul pain. Up all night on the cheap cocaine, trying to make it better, but it's always the same. Well, on the streets of Chicago with Sidekick Sally, I was hitting up the bars on Viagra Alley, where the men pick up women not half their age. All I had for them was my tears and my rage, and I thought it was a fight. I went for my knife, and the man shook my hand with his kids and his wife, and I was so ashamed I hung back and cried. Leave all that to St. Peter, wait till I die. Leave all that to St. Peter, wait till I die. I sing, hey mama, I've been staring at the rain. A little heartbreak, a little soul pain. Up all night on the cheap cocaine, trying to make it better, but it's always the same. I've been up all night, I've been staring at the sky, and I'm so lonely, but I couldn't tell you why. Thank you very much. I know there's several songwriters in the room, and so for that purpose I do want to say that you never set out to write a song that rhymes rain, pain, and cocaine, but by God, sometimes it's raining outside and you're in pain, and what the hell are you going to do? So, and that's the only excuse I will offer for it. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I'll get you back up next set. Is that okay? That's Mr. Tyler Giles there, just playing on the pedal steel. Handsome, talented, single? Handsome, talented, single. Ladies, what more do you want? Gentlemen, what more do you want? Gentlemen, I say gentlemen. and ladies. What more do you want? Folks, I've been playing folk songs for a few years now. And one of the greatest things about playing folk songs is that you get to play songs about social conditions that deserve to die. Various inequalities that have been written about, protest ballads, wonderful things like that. Even if it's just the trouble of there being a bunch of boll weevils that come and eat the crops up one year or something like that. But boll weevils eating crops isn't a problem that we regularly have now, so every now and again I'll set out to write a folk song about a social condition that deserves to die. So this here is a song I wrote for my roommate who's gay, and she for many years had a beard, somebody who she dated to look straight. So I always wanted to write a song about a beard, and this is that song. By God, by cracky, boy howdy hot dog, here it is. It's called Kristin on the Side. She's a pastor's daughter, nobody loves her. She's 250 pounds, not one of them's muscle. Nobody got her any braces like the others, so she's still gap-toothed like my mother. It was the summer of 2007 when I mistook a half-rolled joint and her lips for heaven. I guess I'm not that into it, nothing to compare. It was easier to lie to myself when she was there. But I'm still seeing Kristin on the side. But I'm still seeing Kristin on the side. And she's the only one who even knows what's on my mind. I'm still seeing Kristin on the side. We'd go to church on Sundays and write notes in our hymnals. In a red pen we'd draw up all our future tattoos. Then spike the coffee afterwards with stolen spirits. Say, here's my body, here's my blood too. She never spoke in tongues, but her tongue said what mine would not. She never spoke her mind, so her mind was lost on me. But I kissed her brother at her 19th birthday party. I never felt so alive or so free. And I'm still seeing Kristin on the side. But I'm still seeing Kristin on the side. And she's the only one who gives a damn what's on my mind. I'm still seeing Kristin on the side. I could have the life wrenched out of me, but I can't jimmy anyone's heart. I could go back to the girl that's known me from the start. I could crumple $50 inside my pocket. I could say goodbye. I could stroll to certain bars downtown with a cold look in my eye. But I'm still seeing Kristin on the side. But I'm still seeing Kristin on the side. And she's the only one who even knows what's on my mind. I'm still seeing Kristin on the side. She's says, boys say, why be lonely when you could just come home with me? I think that she's more the adventurous kind. Thank you very much, folks. Well, folks, again, my name's Willi Carlisle. I'm here to play some folk songs and songs of other varieties. That's the song I just wrote. If you like any of what you heard, there's a little merchandise case over there. It's big and red. You can't miss it. I'd love for you to just, hell, just throw some money in there. Put some gas in my car if you feel like it. It's not a car. It's actually a Baptist church van. So people pay my tolls ahead of me, but it feels a little bit weird to hotbox. You know what I mean? Somebody tell me what time it is out there. You got a big. That's a nice watch. Can you read that watch for me there? It is 11 o'clock. Well, that puts me at my halfway point, folks. I'll do a couple more songs, and I'll get off the stage. I'm starting to stink. Go outside, air my clothes out, come back, sing a few more songs. If you have any requests, I'll ask that you write them on the back of a $100 bill and slip them into my front pocket. I'll get back to you within the next year or so. I'm not a fast learner, but I do learn it good when I learn it. There are several women in here that may attest to that. At least one. What was that? Yeah. Well, folks, I guess I will do a solo ballad. This is one of my favorite ballads of all time. It's a Vietnam protest ballad written by a man named Steve Goodman. It's called The Ballad of Penny Evans. Well, my name is Penny Evans and my age is 21. And I'm a widow of the war that's being fought in Vietnam. And I have 2 infant daughters, and I do the best I can. Well, they say the war is over, but I think it just began. I remember I was 17 when first I met young Bill. At his father's grand piano, we played good old Heart and Soul. And I only knew the left-hand part, and he the right so well. He's the only boy I've lain with, he's the only one I will. And it's first we had a baby girl, and we had 2 good years. After that the draft notice came, we parted without tears. And it's 9 months from our last night, our second babe appears. 6 months later now a letter comes confirming all my fears. And now it's every month I get a check from an army bureaucrat. And it's every month I tear it up and send the damn thing back. Do they think that I can be bought off? Do they think I'll fall for that? I don't want their bloody money, it won't bring my Billy back. And I never cared for politics, things I don't understand. Likewise, never take no charity from any living man. But it's 50,000 Billies dead in that unhappy land. And it's 50,000 heart and souls being played with just one hand. And my name is Penny Evans, and my age is 21. And I am a widow of the war that's being fought in Vietnam. And I have 2 infant daughters, and I'm glad I have no sons. Well, they say the war is over, but I think it's just begun. Thank you very much, folks. I'll be right back. Take about 5 minutes. Thank you.